Well, it's April, and it's time for a new wine club. I want to address a few things here by video, and then I'm going to talk briefly about the wines that we've got on our wine club, and I'm super excited about these wines. So, first off, the month of March has come to a close. Many of you did not get a chance to taste your wines. We still have all of the wines available to pick up. Now we're going into April, and the question is will I get to taste wines before I take them home? Now I'm doing something a little different since we can't actually sit down and serve you your wines all the way through, especially for you Platinum Club members that like to come in and taste the gold and the platinum wines. We are going to put all of our club wines on our wine keeper. So in turn, when you come in and you start looking at the different wines and you say, you know what, I'm really interested in the Montepulciano, the Cabernet, whatever it might be, we can at least share a little bit of that with you. And this month is really fun because of the fact I've asked my vendors to bring wine that they really enjoy, they really like, that they brought some fun stuff for me. It's all over the place, and I think you'll really enjoy the experience. So with that being said, let me walk through very quickly the different wines that we have. On the Gold Club, as I mentioned, we have two chilled wines, a white wine from France, and that is from Montgravet. It's actually a Colombard. Well, this particular wine is from Gascon, and it is a wonderful white wine. It's stainless steel aged at 100% Colombard, I will say that. And the way it was aged, it does have some mallow to it, so it gives it some creaminess and some comfort to the overall profile of the wine. It's not as creamy and buttery as you might find in a Chardonnay, but it certainly has some fun flavors in there if you are looking for a really nice summery white wine. Then we brought in a wine from California, a rosé, which is a really interesting rosé from Klinkerbrick. It's actually a blend of several different grapes. And actually, I'm going to read it here because I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. So it has Grenache, Carignan, Syrah, and Mourvedre, all in this particular wine. Now, on first taste, it might feel a little acidic, a little rough or sharp, but you get past that first taste, you get to the second and the third taste, and it's wonderful, full-bodied, lingers on the tongue. It really is a nice rosé, and I think you'll like that a lot. I have a couple of fun wines here. One is a Montepulciano. I like to say that, Montepulciano. One thing is this wine is rich, it's full-bodied, and when you hear people talk about baking spices in a wine, boy, this has got that right there on the palate. If you don't pick up the cinnamon and the nutmeg and some of the fun things that are on this wine, I would be surprised because it is there. It's a gorgeous wine, fruit forward, very friendly. I think it's one of these wines that our wine club wine members are going to love, 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 love. Something also, a lot of you folks that know me, I don't typically get into the Malbecs, specifically from Mendoza. But I tasted this wine, Localinda. It is from Mendoza, Argentina, and it is actually, from my perspective, a gorgeous Malbec. Really fun flavors, full-bodied. You get a little earthiness in it, but you don't get all of the minerality, the iron that you tend to get sometimes in a Mendoza region Malbec. So this is a really nice wine. And oh, by the way, it's a liter bottle. So you get extra wine for this particular Malbec. So we have got a Rioja Reserva. Bodega Andera is the wine maker, or the winery, I should say. And this is a really super rich, full-bodied Tempranillo. And I'm sorry, I'm going to pour myself some because this is really good. Actually, all of the wines are really good. And I just have been enjoying these across the board already today, now that I've had a chance to open them. Man, that's good. I love the fact that it's a Reserva. It's 2014. You do get some of that fun oak on there. It's still tannic, acidic, gives you some great body on it. But man, this is a wonderful Tempranillo blend, actually, from Rioja. The next wine I've got on my list is from Uruguay. And you may or may not know that Uruguay's primary grape is a Tannat. And this is going to be a really interesting wine. And this wine should pour fairly dark, purplish, very nice in that capacity. Oh, and the nose. That's got some fun stuff going on there. And there's some aromatics on here that kind of reminds me of that I'm not going to say mustiness, but there is a dustiness, that's probably the better word, that comes off on this particular wine. The tasting notes imply that it's lots of blue fruits and full-bodied, wonderfulness. And I will say, based on the nose right now, you're going to get some of that with some really interesting, I'll say, funkiness. The next one I'm going to pour myself, yes, I'm sorry, I'm pouring it for me, is a Petit Verdot. And this particular wine comes from South Africa. You don't normally think of Petit Verdot as a single varietal in a bottle. There are a couple of wineries out there doing, here in Texas actually, 100% Petit Verdot. And I've heard from some of my customers, they are doing a fantastic job with the Petit Verdot. So as you can see, once again, nice and round, rich body on the wine. And the nose comes off with a little bit of chocolatey. It's got a really broad spectrum of aromas. It's got a little dirtiness on it, earthiness, but really, really nice. I think the fruit on this is spectacular. And then to kind of wrap it up, I decided to go with a Napa Cabernet. So for those people that have their comfort zone in being a California person, we've got this beautiful Cabernet from the Hess family collection from Alamy, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but really, really nice wine. And I've already tasted it, but I'm going to taste it again because, you know what, it's a good wine. And you might, as you would expect, get a lot of fruit on this, but what's nice about this one, it's not overly oaked. We're not seeing a whole lot of the vanilla and other tones that might overwhelm the grape. And on this particular one, I find the balance really nice. There's some good acidity. The tannins aren't over-structured. It's not going to be too grippy on the tongue. I think you'll find this a really nice wine to sit and just enjoy on the back porch. Or, you know what, with a nice dinner and your friends. So, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your support. Really appreciate everything that we've seen happening within our community. Karen and I thank you up and down for being part of our wine club. And for those of you that are watching this video that are not part of our wine club, please, please, please consider joining. Thank you very much. Enjoy your wine, and to my empty glass, cheers.